Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back doing another Swiss Shadows Over Innistrad draft. Ooh. Avacyn's Judgment. We also have Nearheath Chaplain, which is a really strong card. Really like this card. I like Inner Struggle. This card has got some good cards in it. Dauntless Cathar. So I appreciate all the comments from everybody. It's like 99% really reasonable people with good critiques, so I appreciate that. That is a great ratio to have. All the comments, I'm going to try and take as many to them as to heart as possible. I think I'm going to take the Judgment over the Nearheath Chaplain. This card just seems like really, really strong if you can madness it, and still playable if you can't. Okay. So let's talk synergies here. What do we got? This is Investigate. Oh, it's like a mill card. Cool, okay. We have this Foreboding Ruins, which is probably only worth like a ticket, I'm sure. Can't imagine it's worth more than that. Yeah. We've also got Spiteful Motives. Might just want the Murderous Compulsion. Seems like it's the strongest card in here. Neglected Heirloom is pretty good. Nice cheap equipment, actually. But Murderous Compulsion is removal, and it is good removal. So I think we're going to take that. Another one, huh? Well, what have we got here? We've got Erdwall Illuminator, which I like. Twins of Maurer Estate, which I like. Logger, Gone Missing. If we take all these Madness cards, we are going to need some Madness enablers. You can splash Avacyn's Judgment, but if you're splashing it, then you pretty much want to make sure that you're only going to hit it on Madness. It's a pretty bad splash if you're using it on the top end only. Feels like Twins are probably the best card in here. Better than Gone Missing. I actually like Hinterland Logger. I probably like Illuminator a little bit more. Good blocker. It's evasive. It has possibly a relevant ability. I still think I'd probably take the Twins over the Illuminator, though. Olivia's Bloodsworn. 2 mana, 2/1 flying that can't block, and it gives Vamps haste. That's not bad, actually. Maybe we actually can make a Vamp deck work this time. Otherwise, there's Harvest Hand, which is fine. I probably like the Bloodsworn a little bit more. They can't block, but it does give Vamps haste, which I like. We'll try this card out, the Bloodsworn. Okay, well, we can take the Noble, which I guess kind of keeps you on the Vamp path. Currently, the only card that we have that interacts with vampires is this Olivia's Bloodsworn. I like this Drew Now Corpse Trawler. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's like busted or anything, but it's a pretty good card. Nagging Thoughts, I kind of like. Could take the Noble. Does seem significantly worse than Corpse Trawler. We really haven't seen much in terms of red, which means maybe the Judgment won't work out. I could take the Corpse Trawler. Feels like a better card than the Noble. The 3-drop just seemed kind of replaceable. 3 mana, 3/2. It is a Vamp. Reduced to Ashes, I guess. Emissary of the Sleepless, which is pretty good. Gone Missing, which is fine. Maybe we take the Reduce here. I mean, I know I keep playing black-red, but, like, feel free to tell me what I'm supposed to be taking instead, because maybe I just don't understand. Like, is this card broken? I've played against it a few times. I wasn't super impressed. I do like Confront the Unknown. It just feels like I'd rather have a removal spell. This is tough. This is tough. Hulking Devil is playable, not exciting. Merciless Resolve is actually, I think I kind of like this card. Sack a land to draw 2. Sack a creature 2, technically. Otherwise, I could take Mana Fixing for a splash. I mean, we do have a blue card. This is probably replaceable. All right, we'll take the Highland Lake. Lamplighter, another Vamp Noble, Stallion of Ashmouth, Resurgence, Howlpack Wolf. Noble versus Stallion, probably. I guess Noble has better synergies with our other Vamps. Stallion is pretty good too. We'll probably just take the Vamp here, I guess. All right, another Vamp. We could try and make a Vamp deck work. I'm not opposed. I mean, I've tried it a couple other times, and it didn't really work out too well. It worked out okay. But maybe we'll be able to make a Vamp deck work here. I guess none of these cards matter. I don't really care if my opponent plays Seagraft Scab. Probably the most playable card here, though. Shambleback, maybe playable. Otherwise, Haunted Cloak. I don't really like this card all that much. Vigilance, Trample, Haste, I guess is good as our 3/5, but it's really not good with anything else in our deck. Guess we'll take the Shambleback. Hound versus Shard. So Shard fuels Delirium, but that's about it. Hound seems playable, maybe. All right, got the Noble back anyway. So I guess we have a good start for Vamps. Prefer to not play these. I will if I have to. Murderous Compulsion is a lot less good in an aggressive deck, which Vamps is. So I do admit that. Ooh, I like this Accursed Witch a lot. Probably going to first pick that. There is another. I like the Twins, but this card's really strong, I think. I'm a big fan of this. It's not a Vamp, but the aura is very good. Just draining every turn with no cost. I like it. I'm going to take it here. And yeah, besides that, it's just like the Twins, so. Another Bloodsworn. Fiery Temper, though, is removal. Reaper is good. Another Compulsion, but like I said, this, if we're going to be aggro Vamps, we're really not going to want Murderous Compulsion so much, but we're definitely going to want Temper. So I'm going to take that over the Bloodsworn, even though I think Bloodsworn is good. Not insane, but because it's basically the, I forget the name, but Innistrad had the same thing, a 2-mana, 2/1 flying that can't block. I guess I can take Grotesque Mutation. It's pretty playable. There's an Angelic Purge in here in white. Graph Mole in green. But we probably want the Combat Trick. Ooh. Got past Heir of Falconwrath, which is something our deck really wants, so I'm happy we got to pick this up. Because we've got multiple Madness cards at this point. And it's also a Vamp. It's basically exactly what... It's probably one of the better cards for our deck, so... Happily taking that. Okay, well, we get another Madness Enabler in Pale Rider. Otherwise, we could pick up a combat trick, but I think this Pale Rider is probably pretty good. Even if you don't hit Madness, a turn 2, 3/3 seems pretty good. I actually like these Ghoul Caller's accomplices. I think they're good too. But I'm going to take Pale Rider here. Even though it's not a vamp, like I said, we've got at least a few Madness spells to work alongside it. Certainly seems like a good card for an aggressive deck. Although the Skulk on it is kind of strange, right? Because why would you want... Skulk is just kind of a mechanic that doesn't matter outside of 1 or possibly 2 power. 3 power just seems pointless to even have Skulk. Sanguinary Mage versus Throttle. I guess our removal currently is a Compulsion, a Judgment, a Temper, and a Reduce to Ashes. I actually like the Sanguinary Mage, but I think we're going to take the Throttle. I do want a lot of cheap spells, admittedly. And I actually just have been kind of, I guess not like amazed by Sanguinary Mage, but been pretty happy with it. All right, I mean, we're totally making the Vamp deck come together here. It'd be nice if we could get some more Vampire synergies. I've got, like, only one real Vamp enabler at the moment. Oh, here's an interesting pack. So Twins versus Sanguinary Mage versus Insolent Neonate. So what are our Madness cards at the moment? Fiery Temper, which really doesn't matter. I never care about Fiery Temper having Madness. Murderous Compulsion, which definitely matters more. But Compulsion, regardless, is not going to be good if we're aggressive Vamps. Judgment, which really does matter. I guess we'll take the Madness Enabling Vamp over the stronger Vamp. I don't know. People keep telling... I saw so many comments on how great Neonate is for enabling. I thought it was fine. I wasn't, like, overly impressed with it. It did okay. It did its job. It did more than I expected it to. But let's be honest here. When all is said and done, you're playing a 1-mana 1/1 Menace. None of these cards matter. Not a 1. Guess I'll take the rare. Might be worth 20 cents. Who knows? All right, got the Bloodsworn back, so pretty happy about that. Indignation or Magmatic Chasm. I guess Chasm lets us push through some damage. I don't really care too much about it, though, in this deck. I guess I don't really care about Indignation either, but maybe we'll take it. Potential finisher. All right. Noble versus Accomplice. I actually like Accomplice. It's kind of good with a discard outlet. Still lets you do something, but we might actually end up with some more Vamp synergies, so I guess I'll take the Noble. Vessel's playable. All right, so we have all the vampires, but none of the cards that reward you for playing Vamps outside of the Olivia's Bloodsworn. Hey, a rare Vamp. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, if that player has no cards in hand, you draw a card and lose 1 life. I like this card. And it's a 2-mana 3/1. Seems aggressive. Oh, but there's Inner Struggle in here too. Probably just take the rare anyway. I like drawing cards. And it's each player too. I guess your opponent can kind of play around it by just sandbagging a land, but you can get to it. Yeah, this card seems very strong. We'll take it over the Inner Struggle, even though I like Inner Struggle. All right, I'm going to want a Tormenting Voice in this deck too, probably. See if that happens. Devil's Playground. Deadweight, though, is probably the cheaper spell we're looking for. Yeah, let's get aggressive here. So I'm probably not going to play Indignation. Probably not going to main deck this. All right, let's take the Deadweight. This card's cool. Another Twins or a Sanguinary Mage. So we've got 7 non-creature spells. We've got Neonate and Heir of Falconwrath to turn on Twins of Mauer Estate. I'm just trying to think how many of them I want. And I guess Pale Red. We've got a few enablers for it. But would I rather just have a 2-drop or more twins? We wield this. Would we wield a Sanguinary Mage? I'm not sure. Feels like twins are probably better. Throttle and Gibbering Fiend and Sanitarium Skeleton. Probably not looking for Alms of the Vein. I guess we take a second Throttle. Certainly look like a 17-land deck. Startle Awake, nice. Crow of Dark Tidings. We'll probably just take the second Neonate. Whoa, Sin Prodder. What the? Never mind. What did the person take out of this pack? Aren't these cards maybe worth something or not? I like this Sin Prodder a lot. I think it's a good card. Not worth anything? Kind of surprising. Seems like a very playable and constructed card. We're going to take it, despite the fact that we're a Vamp deck. We really don't care, though. I mean, Neonate would be nice in this deck, obviously. Now we probably have enough Madness, but Sin Prodder's just pretty insane. Breakneck Rider. Yeah. Could take the Voldaren Duelist. Duelist is also a Vamp, but it already has haste. We just ended up with a heavy Vamp deck with no Vamp synergies outside of the Bloodsworn. But we are trying to be aggressive. Voldaren Duelist might push damage through a little bit better. I really like this Breakneck Rider a lot, though. I think this card's really good. I think Rider's probably a better card than Duelist, despite being double red. I mean, just flipping this is insane. I'm going to take the Rider. Senseless Rage, yeah, we could play it. Probably have enough discard outlets to make it work. I'm not sure I want to play it, but it's possible. Ooh, Stensia Masquerade. Well, there's the Vamp synergy we were looking for. I guess we'll take it and play it. I mean, how many Vamps do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's enough. Gives all your guys first strike regardless, so yeah, we'll take it, we'll play it, we'll give it a try. There's also a rush of adrenaline in there. Mentor, there we go. There's the Vamp synergies we're looking for. There's a Tormenting Voice in here too. Tormenting Voice is a good Madness enabler. But I think we're going to take the Mentor. I'd rather get the buff spell. Take the Wolf and not play it. Alright, got the Mage back, which is kind of nice. So, Alms of the Vein. Yeah, Stensia Masquerade is actually just really strong in our deck now. So I probably just want to cut our curve back a little bit. Ooh, got the Neonate back too. This is something. This deck actually looks good. We've got some synergies going for us here. So what are the cuts? I think I'm actually going to end up cutting the Compulsion. Assassinate is just not good in an aggressive deck, and I don't think this deck's an exception. Plus, we have a lot of cuts to make. So I think we're cutting the Senseless Rage. I like it, but we got better things going on. Alms of the Veins not happening. Do we want to play triple Vampire Noble? I'm not sure. What's our removal? Currently have Deadweight, Judgment, Mutation, Temper, Reduced Ashes, Double Throttle. How much evasion do we have? Double Bloodsworn. This thing's got Skulk, which is kind of pointless. On a 3/3, like I said. I really don't want to cut Sin Prodder or Breakneck Rider. What are the Madness cards we ended up with? Yeah, the Judgment with Neonate's pretty insane. And like Twins of Mauer Estate. Not insane, but good. I think it's like, do people not realize that you end up losing a Neonate, you end up losing another card, and you get to draw a card, right? So at best you get to replace Neonate with another card and then draw a card. So what does that mean exactly? Replace plus draw, so you could end up a card? Kind of want to cut this Mutation, even though I like it. It's good with like Sanguinary Mage. Kind of want to keep all of our other stuff going here. Like with double Neonate, I kind of want to just keep triple Twins of Mauer Estate. 19 creatures seems excessive, though. I could cut a Vamp Noble. They're a pretty, for the most part, underwhelming creature. And 2 should still be enough. Do I want to keep this Pale Rider? I guess we have triple Twins, so for 5 mana, I can play this plus this, which does seem good. Or even 3 mana, Pale Rider plus Fiery Temper. Yeah. I think we're keeping it, which I still got to make 2 more cuts here, huh? So Throttle's instant speed. I probably end up liking that more than Reduced to Ashes. This is tough. Let's do a Vamp count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can probably afford to maybe cut 1 more Noble. These are just 3 mana 3/2s, which really aren't that strong. And total Vamp synergies. Stensia Masquerade, member, works without Vamps. It's definitely better with Vamps, but... Might want to cut one of my 5 drops. I kind of like having 6 removal spells, though. Certainly doesn't hurt. I'm just not sure what creature to cut for it. I could cut a Sanguinary Mage, I guess, even though I like it. We only end up having 7 spells that actually buff it, so alright. Guess we can cut that. I mean, I could cut another one for a second Noble, if I thought that was better. And then we still have 7 1 or 2 drop creatures. Like I said, we only have 7 spells in the deck that buff Sanguinary Mage. Vamp Noble's more aggressive. There's also more things that block it. Maybe we just diversify. We'll play 1 Sanguinary Mage, 1 Vamp Noble, because I just can't decide what's more useful. Alright. This deck looks good. I know it's another black-red deck, but it's probably the most cohesive Vamp deck I've made. So 9-8, I agree with that. I mean, we actually need double. We don't need double. I see. We don't need double black, but we need double red. Does that make me want to go the other way? It kind of does. I mean, I really want to play Breakneck Rider on turn 3. Plus the 1-drop red spells. This is kind of strange. I think we're actually erring towards red because we actually have double red spells and we only need 1 black mana. Alright. I like this deck. I want to put it in C territory. I know it looks a little bit 5-drop heavy, but we've got the Madness enablers. So I'll give this deck a C. I'll probably give it a C+. It kind of looks good. Got some evasion, got some cheap threats, got some removal. We can push damage. I'll give it a C+. I'll give it like a 77%. Which is maybe just a C, a high C. But we'll see how it runs. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1.